Hi, I just wanted to make a video response to 4tothefloor's post. His response to my post. Let me just turn that down. Because I just felt like I couldn't write what I wanted to say in a text post. I just felt that I could just, say it verbally. I actually, wrote down, a list of my taste. I'd probably say that as far as trance, I don't really listen to that much trance that much anymore. I used to religiously listen to Above and Beyond's Trance Around the World podcast, and that's how I got into trance and uplifting things, and also Gareth Emery's podcast. Tiesto had some stuff too with his Club Life podcast. I also used to listen to our what's his name, Mark Eatson, I think it was. I used to listen to him. And there was a whole bunch of other podcasts I downloaded about 4 years ago. When I first started college, that's when I really got into stuff. Some of my favorite artists around that time were Signal Runners, Meet Me in Montauk, Oliver Smith. There was a whole bunch. I loved Caillou and Albert. That song "Be There For You" was one of my favorites. I think after 2009, I think that's when I stopped really listening to trance, but I got into more of the progressive side of things with artists like Solarity, Prof, Dinka, most recently Soundprank. Pulsar was always one of my favorites. One of my favorite songs by him is Sunseeker, also Undo the Silence, and David, I think his name David Forbes, oh my god, something just fell. Okay, it was the fan. It knocked something over. I was like, oh my god, my room's haunted. Okay, sorry. David Forbes did a really mean remix of Pulsar's Undo the Silence, so that was one of my favorites. Going back to stuff back in the day, what I used to do is I used to listen to the radio, and I used to stay up late at night to listen to this radio station called the 92.7 LAR, which is now defunct. And I was just angry because I got into it really late. As soon as I got into it and discovered it one day while randomly flipping through the dials, because I had a small Walkman it was my dad's, and what I would do is I would just steal it from him and just listen to music at night. And he would just basically catch me in bed each night and tell me go to bed, don't listen to music, and he would take the Walkman away, so I'd always take it back. But what I would do is he's an airplane mechanic, and he works for American Airlines, so he would bring home headphones that they give out on the plane, and the leftover ones or whatever. So I took one of those, I broke the headphones in half and slipped it under my pillowcase, and I would just put my ear on it like that, and I would just turn up the Walkman volume, so where it was barely, I could, hear it, but it wasn't loud enough where my parents could hear it, and I just would press my ear into it, and I would just listen to it. It was called, the LAR After Hours. There was this guy who would come on in this kind of deep, sexy kind of voice, and he'll be like, let's go paint the town red. And they played whatever was in the clubs at the time, and they also played some current trance hits. And I was saying before, or did I say this before? If I didn't say it, I would buy the Ultra Trance comps, and that's how I got into trance also. So it was just basically, that was my whole major gateway for getting into trance, was the compilations and just the radio. Those were my two main sources. As far as old school, one of my favorites of all time is Gabriel and Dresden's remix of Above and Beyond's No One on Earth. That was one of my favorites. And also, another one of my favorites was Luminary Amsterdam, with the remix by Smith and Pledger. Smith and Pledger remixed that. That's also one of my favorites. I could listen to that song over and over and never get tired of it. That's one of my favorite songs also. I think I wrote down more stuff. I think I covered everything. I just had to write stuff down because there's just so much to cover as far as trance, because it's been a huge influence as far as me being a producer. It's been a huge influence on my sound. Another one of my key influences was definitely Super 8 and Tab. I had 4 key songs by them that really helped me get through hard times. I would always listen to their songs whenever I was feeling down and depressed. And the 4 key songs were Delusion, Suru, Needs to Feel, and Helsinki Scorching, because like they were these were my favorites because they had sort of like a dark kind of tone to them. Also, another favorite of mine was 5 by Alto. I forgot who's in that. I can't remember, but yeah, that was one of my favorites. 5 by Alto. I think I mentioned before Caillou and Albert. I got into them through MySpace because they posted up "Are You Fine?" That was one of the first tracks I ever listened to by them. I mean, nowadays, I'm not really listening to trance like that. I mean, I'm not really that much interested as I was. Now I'm just listening to more, like, deep and minimal stuff, like stuff from guys like Adam Bear and Samuel L. Session. And I think my music tastes are actually running rampant all over the place. So I can't really fine-tune what exactly I'm listening to. It could be anything at this point, but not trance, not so much. For me, like, I know I'll probably get bludgeoned to death for my opinion, but I just say, like, I don't feel like the quality of trance right now is as good as it was back then. You can peg me as like a music snob, but I guess that's just my opinion. But that's just how I feel, I guess. Or maybe like I haven't listened. The last time I listened to trance, like, to be honest, is probably like maybe like 3 years ago, probably, and that was it. There was like a song by I forgot his name, Bart Clayson, or something like, it was a song called Elf. I don't know if it was associated with Bart Clayson or whatever, something like that or whatever. I think it was him. That was one of my favorites from back then. I haven't listened to any modern trance recently. I checked out like Rank 1 stuff the other day. I just feel like a lot of these artists are doing a little bit more proggy kind of stuff, because that's the thing that really confuses me nowadays with prog house and how the stuff, what's in that genre. To me, when I think of prog house, I think of artists like Paul Keeley and Solarity, J-Tech, Dinka, Soundprank, artists like that, because I used to like listen to like, I have the first ever Anjuna Deep compilation, and I listen to that religiously, and I still pop it in from time to time. I have it in my car. I'm just gonna put on my glasses because I just need to change the song real quick. I just think I don't look good with glasses. I just gotta figure out what song I want. Okay, I'm just gonna put out that song. I'm just like getting over a cold real quick. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, back to prog house. I mean, I guess I just feel like things are getting a little bit more proggy when it comes to trance nowadays, and it doesn't really feel like it's like it has that uplifting kind of quality. Because I always like the uplifting, driving part of trance, like Ali and Fila, that part. Even Super 8 and Tab and Caillou and Albert. One of my favorites by Caillou and Albert is actually Walk Down. Like, every time I hear that song, and as soon as it drops towards like the near middle, I just go completely mental. Another one of my favorites was, I think it's Sean Tyas, For the Moment. That song was crazy also. I always go mental to that song too. Yeah, I also used to download podcasts from Sean Tyas, and he had some pretty good songs from then. Another one I'm completely forgetting is Cosmic Gate. Sign of the Times is a pretty crazy song. I haven't listened to any recent Cosmic Gate, so I don't really know what's going on with them. Yeah, Nick Chagall was the fucking man. I used to listen to him like crazy back in the day. He made some really good productions, like, on his part. Yeah. Cosmic Gate, I think the He really? I'm thinking of Nick still. It's the two of them. I forgot the other guy's name. Yeah, Cosmic Gate and their remix of John O'Callaghan's Find Yourself. That was a pretty good one too. Speaking of John O'Callaghan, one of my favorites by him, another favorite, was Out of Nowhere. That one was also pretty good as far as like a trance tune. But anything recent, I haven't really listened to anything recent. I'd probably just have to tune into like a random channel, maybe on DIFM or one of those stations, and probably check out what's going on, or check out a podcast or whatever. But I haven't really checked out anything recently. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, as far as old school, I would just be like Paul Van Dyk, Armin van Buuren, Early Above and Beyond, Rank 1, There's like a whole bunch of people. I'd probably have to consult all my old compilations because I can't remember. There's just like a whole bunch. I remember one of my other favorites was Ann Dane's Beautiful Things. That was good. And then there was also that song that they used to play on the radio back in the day, Motorcycles really After, As the Rush Comes. That was another one. Every time you heard that track as it began, the fucking chills, and then Jess is like just an amazing vocalist. It's just like a whole bunch of things. I think this is just a conversation I need to have and sit down and like do it another time, because there's just so much to talk about. But as far as like me in present day, I think trance is definitely has like an evident influence on the music I think trance has an evident influence on the music that I make currently, because before I did want to be a trance producer, and what I would do is I would just throw loops together and that was it, and I call that trance. I didn't know what I was doing. But what I did like, though, I always liked the atmospheric, uplifting pads that accompanied that assisted the song. I can't find a word right now, can't talk, have a cold. Can't even think right. But yeah, I lost my train of thought. Not good. The pads. The pads was always the thing that caught me. That was the whole melodic, harmonic content of it, and it would just hit you right here. Every time I heard a trance song, I was always looking for that one defining characteristic. And of course, like, you know, the BPM, you know, that too, to go in accordance with it, it was fine, and how the song was constructed, and also the vocalist. That was it. Like, the pads, I think, influenced me to do more ambient stuff, because you can definitely hear that in, like, I guess the few songs that I've posted before on my Tumblr. But I'm a pads whore. I'm a reverb whore. I love that stuff, and that atmospheric kind of sound that's me, you know. Because I think in the future, when I finish my current college, I want to get into post-production and do stuff for film, because I actually write stories too, and I you know, do stuff like that. You know, I base that stuff on my life's experiences and stuff I see that happen daily all around me and stuff, and that in general. I definitely want to be a filmmaker one day and just take my stories and turn them into films, and have full creative control over that and add music to that. And I just think that would be the most amazing thing. But I definitely want to get into post-production for now, as far as like bringing in revenue. But you know, I mean, right now I've just taken a back burner as far as a DJ, because I just need to practice on my just honing my skills, because like my beat matching is just really fucking shitty, and I don't feel confident enough in playing out live. Because the last time I did a gig, it was like maybe 2 years ago, an official gig. Haven't had any paying ones yet. It's just my social anxiety and fear that's holding me back. I just gotta overcome that. This is something I've just been working on, so that's why I've been quiet recently about you know, any gigs, or also just releasing music too. It's just like getting over that constant fear of just in general, and it's just confidence and all those issues. But I'm turning this into a personal kind of segment, and I don't want it to be. So I really hope that answers your question, though. I know I went off on a tangent a lot, but I just feel like that there's so much to cover, like I said, and you know, maybe hopefully one day we can have this convo in person, I guess, if that would be okay with you. I just think that there's just so much. So much, I can't even comprehend what I'm saying. Just flying off at the mouth. Yeah. But I'm gonna shut up now and end this video. But yeah, hope that answered your question. Alright, cool. Bye. Toodles.